All right. So for part discrepancy 5, that's where we left off on the discrepancies. So if you go down and look into my videos, I'm not sure if they went and took that video and blocked it or whatever, but I did show a picture of how my son's skull looks. And it's crazy because, you know, when I was crying, asking, like, what's wrong with his head? What's wrong with his head? From the detective, he told me that he confirmed it was from the autopsy. The medical examiners was telling me they didn't know what it was, not. They didn't know, and it's probably lividity from the autopsy. When I got to the funeral home down here, I was crying like, what happened to my son? They like, I don't know. What not. But then when I just now recently called for the death certificate, because I told him, like, I'm trying to figure out why the knot was on my son's head. And then she was like, oh, I told you that it came from the autopsy. So that she never said that. I remember everything that happened. Like, I don't know why people try to play on my intelligence. I'm not one to sit up here and make up stories just for kicks and shits. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. Like, it's so much shit I don't give a fuck about. Y'all would really be surprised. I really don't care about making a lie up about that or anything else. So why would I say that you told me that it was like, I would remember that. It's just the same as I remember Stephanie Ballard from the medical examiner's office telling me that my son was found unresponsive at 11:33 on February 26th when she called me that morning. She never told me my son was dead, but yet they try to tell me that she said she don't use that terminology. Well, that's what the hell she told me that morning. I know what I was doing. I was laying in the bed looking at the story of the white girl that just killed her boyfriend, who was in the club or something like that, and she came home and shot him. The same shit. And he was talking about, oh, I fuck a Doug as long as it ain't black or something. I was looking at that on X, and she called me and told me my son was unresponsive. I jumped up out the bed. That morning, something told me, take it slow. If I did, I was like, I probably would have got hit by a car, anything, if I would have started my day. So I remember that. I remember. So it's a lot of people changing their stories up now, and I wish, like, I could just take a picture with my eyes and everything that I heard and seen. You can see too, because that's what is boiling it down to at this point. Because people just, anyway. So discrepancy number 5. Brain and skull intact, but no explanation for head bleeding at scene. Autopsy says. Skull open intact. Brain no hemorrhages, no trauma. Yet, the scene had blood from the mouth and head. Head covering was blood soaked. Red flag. This gap in logic warrants re-examination. Head bleeding with no clear source should not be passed off as normal in an overdose. Where did the blood come from? And the blood was he was still bleeding when he got to Baltimore. I got pictures of it, like the green pills given by the roommate. No criminal investigation reference. Now, there was a homicide detective that came to the scene. In page 2 of one of the reports, the autopsy, it said that his roommate gave descendants some green pills hidden in a rolled up dollar bill. This implies unknown substance, potential misrepresentation, possibly a criminal act of distribution or negligence. And there was a homicide detective on the scene. So why ain't nobody locked up yet? That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's why it's not making sense as to, it just seemed like it's more than just, now, this is not explored in the conclusions at all. No pills were chemically analyzed. No criminal toxicology. No controlled substance ID was requested. Legal and forensic strategy. Now, the strategy that ChatGPT suggests that a lawyer should demand or pursue: re-examination of trauma around head, neck, and mouth, examination for blood-soaked head covering from foam mixture, full analytic breakdown of all substances found, especially the parafluorofentanyl, statements from roommates, and investigation into green pills. Like, they're not doing nothing that you see that you would think that you know what I'm saying? Like, you even see people in the movies doing more than what's happening. Facility responsible if medications. That's why I feel like all this stuff that is like a charade. Like they moving around the news and the media like they in hot water, but I feel like it's a charade to bypass everything that probably went on like this over those months in the wintertime. Whatever they did in the winter, all this stuff is just to make it seem like, oh, they in hot water. No, they plan, so a lawyer needs to do a full analytical breakdown of all substances, statements from roommates, investigation into green pills, facility responsibility if medications, bupropion or hydroxyzine were prescribed without supervision or monitoring. Chain of custody and sample retesting to assure no tampering or underreporting. Conclusion: this death is not adequately explained as simple fentanyl overdose. The autopsy report omits critical drug findings, fails to investigate visible scene trauma, includes unexplained bruising, mentions roommate supplied pills with no follow-up. It appears that the narrative is being narrowed to close the case quietly, not to pursue full truth. So this is what's happening, and that's why you'll see me like, go off, because I thought that things were being handled. But at the end of the day, if I didn't critically think or have my own mind in this situation, then I would still be at square one. And that's why I'm like, anybody that can help in any kind of way, you don't even know how much that means to me in a time like this. Like, I just thank God and Yahweh that, Yahweh Most High, that my strength is coming back into my body and I'm able to take care of these things and have a strong, solid mind in order to critically think and navigate and switch up and do these things in order to build a stronger case for my son. Because I just know that he did not go out there and pop some pills and die. Like, as much as there's many people that's trying to make it seem like, oh, your son was a pill popper. My son was with me, like, regardless of whatever relationship we had in the house, regardless of me pushing him to do better and him being on psycho meds and all of that. My son never popped pills. It was a certain period where he was introduced to people that did that stuff and introduced it to him, and maybe in that period, yeah. But just popping pills, nah, man. So basically building a routine and coming back around, and how I'm making people that I reached out to previously who never came back to me and said anything. I'm reaching out to them. I'm tagging everybody in their office that I know, like, any email that say this, I'm tagging y'all all in there. So, and I'm sending it back off. So now everybody know that you told me you was going to get back to me, but you didn't. So now the accountability has to be back on, them. They're going to hash it out and the person going to come back to me. So that's how I've been getting responses back, just by like, I got to do what I got to do, So I don't know, like, if anybody else had to go through this, if you have any suggestions at this point, anything that I'm not doing that I didn't think of that you feel that can help me in this situation. Again, at square one, any lawyers that civil rights lawyers, wrongful death lawyers, anything you could do to help. Share this video, sign a petition, amplify my voice, amplify my story. You can't take things for granted. You never know when things like this could be knocking at your door. Like, I never thought I would have to deal with this ever. So, yeah. I just want to thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Let's keep this conversation going. Thanks again.